Welcome back. You're watching NBC's World of Sports. Now we'll join Scholar for international sports news.
The AFL says it will review its use of the goal-kicking shot clock after the controversial finish to the Sunday's North Melbourne against St Kilda. With the game in the balance, a Kangaroos player used his full 30 seconds in front goal to time out the match and guarantee his side victory.
With the match on a knife's edge, this was not the thrilling finish fans had hoped for.
I have to say it wasn't the greatest of looks at the end of the game. I think it robbed a little bit of atmosphere of the game.
Awarded a free kick with 26 seconds left in the game, Mason Wood used all of his 30-second shot clock to ensure his team won.
It was very frustrating though. It was the longest 30 seconds in the coach's box I reckon I've ever had.
There were no hard feelings from the Saints hierarchy, who say Wood acted within the rules of the game.
It's just a rule, part of the game. You know, if it had been the shoe had been on the other foot, we would have done exactly the same things.
I thought it was very well done, given that they're the rules. If that had been one of our players, I would have thought, gee, great composure, young man.
But the anticlimax to a thrilling final quarter left a bitter taste for some. The AFL says it will put a survey to fans this week to try gauge the public's opinion.
Ask them what they think of it, if they've seen it at a game. Do they like it? Would they like it modified or removed?
The clubs will also get their say.
I've also got a laws of the game meeting this week, so I'm sure we'll have discussion there and ask the clubs as well.
Changes won't be made for the next round, but can be made mid-season. The clock is ticking.
Bernard Tomic French Open preparations are in disarray after he withdrew from the Royal Masters in the first round. Tomic just spent 8 minutes on the court before pulling out due to illness.
It's a different story for the world number one Novak Djokovic, who continued his stellar start to 2016 by winning the Madrid Open. Djokovic defeated Andy Murray in 3 sets for his 5th Masters Series win in the past 6 events.
For just the second time in his career, Djokovic is the champion in Madrid.
Djokovic will be the strong favourite to collect his first title at Roland Garros when the French Open begins later this month.
In netball, the Melbourne Vixens defeated Mainland Tactics 69 points to 48 in the ANZ Championship in New Zealand. Maddie Robinson was instrumental in her 100th game for the Vixens, returning from a knee injury and also taking out the player of the match. Here are the highlights.
We'll start with the Vixens. Maddie Robinson played her 100th match for the Vixens. She's happy to be back playing because she was out with a knee injury for a while, but you can see here she's back in top form, was player of the match. Karen Bailey was the beneficiary of a lot of her great passing, and Bailey scored 50 goals. In fact, the Vixens had a relatively easy win, and they would have been pretty happy with that, having come into the game against the Tactics, which had won 2 in a row. So a good win and a big win in the end.
I think the girls have been building every week, and it's our first, I guess, game across the ditch, so it's kind of nice to get a good solid win, and it was a great hit out. I mean, the scoreline really doesn't reflect how hard it was out there. They pushed us in every single quarter right to the very end, so really, really happy with the win. No, the girls have been awesome. They've really made this game really special, and lots of good luck messages, so thank you to everyone. It was great to get a really good win.
Still in netball, the Magic went down to the West Coast Fever, 44 points to 58. West Coast Fever was a bit nervous going into last night's match, having lost to the Steelers the night before, but a solid performance by Natalie Medhurst secured the win. Here are the highlights.
They would not have even dreamed of having such a broad margin between the two teams, but Bassett and Medhurst were in top form, and the Fever back on a winning track there. It's 4 wins now this year and 3rd on the conference table. That is the Australian conference table. Let's hear from Nat Medhurst, player of the match.
Yeah, it is. I think, we were really disappointed with last week, so I think particularly just for all of us to come out and I guess really from the start of the match in particular, just really put our foot down and apply the pressure. Disappointed with the last quarter, but yeah, good to come over the points.
Geez, and I'm already feeling a fever watching all of that netball. We'll take a quick break and be back with the play of the day. Stay tuned. You're watching NBC's World of Sports.